We'll go to the analysis very shortly, but we just want to understand the monitor itself. What are we monitoring? Of course, we're monitoring the same situation like the one that we're having with Bitcoin. This is, however, Ethereum now. It's supposed to be more advanced. We were looking at consistent positive momentum on the 15 and on the half hour. So you'd think there's going to be a breakout on the 5 minutes. Apparently, what we are saying, how do we know that there is a breakout or not? This is, of course, a wave 1 or wave 3 or whatever. This is the internal cycle. So if this is a 1, this is a 2. It starts right at that point. This is the 2, corrected 50% of this move. Now you want to see a 3 that breaks out higher, and that 2 actually did a 2A, some kind of a 2B here, and a 2C right here. This is your motive, and this should grow at that point based on which bounce at this internal location, should grow higher, break above that neckline. So far there's no breakout. That would become a wave 3 then. We are, of course, having an inverted head and shoulders, the same structures we always look at, but the breakout is still not there. When you get that breakout in price, this becomes confirmed that this is a degree 2, internal degree 2, and the market becomes a buy or an addition. So far, it is not there. All right, let's take a look at the analysis now to see where we stand. All right, so you can expect this will break out earlier. Let's take a look at the longer term picture to remind ourselves of where we were. Okay, so just as a reminder to know what we're standing on, we all remember we are going to buy the top of that level 1 here as aggressively as possible, because this is the growth wave on the daily. You're showing it here. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. There was a correction 4 that bounced right at the top of 1. It bounced at the top of an internal degree 1. So the market is a buy against the support of 3,650, 3,670. That's been the case over the past, since the beginning of the week actually. All right, so let's now update what's going on. We also want to remember, be very much focused on this, remind ourselves that the market is doing a wave 4. This is the segregation of that rise. This is a 1, 2, 3. All of this wave is what you're seeing segregated here from 1 to 3. You will note that with Bitcoin, this corrected the whole wave. There's 1, 2. It did actually wave 5. You can do any labels you like. So to the casual observer, to the casual cycle observer on Bitcoin, Bitcoin corrected the whole motive wave and is now trying to move higher and break out of that motive uptrending cycle. Ethereum only corrected 50% of that motive wave, so we bounced here. Okay, we have divergences on momentum. That was, of course, a degree 2. This is a degree 4. So we know now we're buying into a degree 4. This has been already segregated. Should have ended here in A. There's been an A4A and a 4B and a 4C. This is a higher degree A. This could be an internal degree B. Let's take a look at the bearish side, and we were doing that C. We now want to segregate this level. On the bullish side, instead of a B and a C, you're looking at a 1 and a 2. This is a higher degree level 1. There is a higher degree level 2. So that 2 already did a 2A. It did a 2B. At that point, this is delayed. We left off with the 30-minute charts when it was going to be doing a 2C. So this is now, that is higher degree 1. There's been an A. That was day probably yesterday, I think. There was an A, there is a B. We're looking at that internal structure. Very important to remember all the segregations, because we're going to take them out on the current rise. So there's a 1, 2, there is a 3. There has been a 4 now. We're expecting a move higher, but the market actually broke lower, did a 5. And therefore, we expect that this is 2C here. When we go now live to the 30-minute chart or the update, you'll find that this is 2C, has been updated into 2C. That's why, so this correction is finished. This is 1, all right? So we can retract the labels instead of an A, B, C, and this is 2C here. We have a 2A here, we have a 2B here, then there's an A and a B and a C. This is 2C, comes up with level 5 when we go to the 30-minute chart.